Any place in this field is going to be a perfect potato.
Believe it or not, there are roughly 47 million potatoes in this field. You just can't see them because they're buried underground.
Right here's a plant, so we know we've got potatoes right under here.
This is Kiska Farms in Washington State, and farmer Lonnie Blasdell can't afford to miss even one of his 47 million potatoes.
Hey! Look at that!
Because whether they're baked, French fried, made into potato chips, or used to make potato salad, each of us eats about 126 pounds of potatoes per year. That breaks down to almost 1 potato per person per day. They all start out growing in lush green fields of potato plants. But the real story takes place underneath. That's where the roots swell to form tubers. But farmers don't harvest them until the plant dies and the potato forms something called skin set.
You just pull one out? And what are you looking for here?
What we're looking for is a skin that stays on.
Okay.
If it's not ready, it will actually peel off like this.
By harvest time, each plant yields up to 12 potatoes.
To pick a potato, it's 8 inches under the ground. So what you got to do is get your pitchfork in low so you don't damage them, and then just sift them to the top.
But on this farm, the multi-million potato harvest is so large they have to call in heavy machinery. And instead of a pitchfork, a 2-roll puller is used to uproot the potatoes. The puller works by dragging a wedge down 8 inches into the soft, dusty soil and lifting potatoes, rocks, and other debris onto a conveyor.
Dusty! This is not a potato!
The conveyor belt sifts away some of the dirt as the potatoes are carried into the back of a 10-wheeler semi-truck. It takes about an hour to fill the truck to its 36,000-pound limit. Next, the truck pulls up to the farm's processing plant to deliver the potatoes, dirt, rocks, and all.
What I'm doing now is really just separating the rocks from the taters. Rocks are potatoes' best friend because when you plant them in the field, the rocks help keep out all of that heat from the sun, keep the soil moist. So when we bring them off the truck, we got to make sure the rocks go back to the field and the potatoes go on the plant.
To make sure not even one rock makes it through, the freshly dug potatoes move onto a water-powered conveyor called a flume.
So the rocks that I missed kind of get separated out by the natural buoyancy of the potatoes.
Yes.
Because potatoes are 80% water, they float and get carried along by the current inside the flume. The rocks sink like, well, rocks, and get carried off by an underwater conveyor belt. From here, the potatoes continue their journey up a motorized ramp to the packing room.
This is where the potatoes are coming after the truck and the wash. And then I noticed you've got people here in 3 different lanes.
The lane workers do what machines can't, and that's look for quality.
So the potatoes that don't make it are the ones that are kind of odd shaped, and maybe 2 potatoes or a couple of knobs on them.
That's right.
In other words, the potatoes have got to be perfect.
What shape are we looking for the most perfect potato?
I like this blocky shape right here. That's a beautiful potato.
What you kind of typically think if you're going to get a baked potato at a restaurant, right? That big oval shape.
Yes.
Those big oval potatoes are the cream of the crop.
Oh,
there you go.
That was a beautiful potato. Look at that.
Potatoes like this one will head straight for a machine called a cartoner that packs them in 50-pound boxes that are shipped to specialty grocers and restaurants. The other potatoes get bagged up and are sent to processing centers like ConAgra Foods in Richland, Washington, which turns the potatoes into what else? French fries.